Where did they come from? Another plane? Another dimension? Maybe somewhere else. One thing about them is certain: they wanted nothing more than to destroy humankind as painfully and mercilessly as possible. They arrived about a year ago. A portal opened in the sky. No warning they were coming. They just arrived. First one, followed by thousands, glowing green orbs descending on us, on the entire world. All communications went out right away, as did the power, like an EMP had been unleashed. My name is Steve Linden, and here is what happened to me and my children. How had my kids and I escaped from all of this for over a year? This night was something different. There's something in the air, and it chilled me to the bone. Maybe it was an omen that our time was up. I could accept it for me, but my kids, my God, my kids. Danny just turned 13 and Amanda only 9 years old. The night was pitch dark. Danny and Mandy were at my side. We were running to escape them yet again. There are more orbs every day, and escaping from them was getting more and more difficult. The only sounds we heard besides our running were crickets and frogs. It was so beastly hot and humid. "Are they coming to get us, Daddy?" Mandy asked in a voice that gave away her effort not to cry. The sweat was pouring from my brow and stinging my eyes. I am feeling weak from dehydration, but water was a precious commodity. I had begun giving my kids what little water we had, taking precious little for myself. "Where are they from, Dad?" Danny questioned. "Why do they want to hurt us?" Those questions had been asked in my own mind 1,000,000 times at least. All I really know is that I had to keep my kids safe, but there was little safety to be had anymore. The reality was that at any moment we could all be dead. A green glowing orb appeared just up ahead and about a quarter of a mile. "Quick, get into the ditch. We shouldn't be seen." And swiftly, without reason, the green orb turned blood red. A woman screamed. It shattered the darkness. Then the glow. The glow dimmed. Amanda buried her head in my shirt, hugging me tightly as her small, frail body trembled from fear. And I sensed what she was thinking. The night that her mother, my lovely, lovely wife, was taken from us in just such a manner. I miss the simple things. The memories tear at my heart. It was only a few days before the orbs came. We were having a cookout on our deck. My wife, Lori, she looked so lovely in the summer sun. Not in our darkest dream could we have imagined the horror that was en route to destroy our world, our reality. There are other runners besides the kids and I, but each day it seems there are less and less of us. We were coming up to an intersection in the road when another green orb appeared, and I had the feeling it had detected us and was not about to turn away. "Quick, into the ditch!" I gave them a push. There was no time to lose. The ditch was deep. It would conceal us well, and it was dry. Rainfall had virtually ceased since they arrived. I held my children close as the mosquitoes buzzed wildly around us, savage for something to drink. And we laid there hidden by the cattails that swayed in the hot, humid summer breeze. The eerie green glow faded. I wondered if they knew we were here. The orb had not darkened, almost invisible, and it seemingly moved away from us. And for the moment, apparently we were safe. "Dad, wouldn't it be safer if we stayed in the ditch?" Danny asked quietly, adding, "All the roads out here have drain pipes underneath. We wouldn't even have to get out of the ditch to cross roads. Just go under them." Well, Danny had a good idea, and I let him know. It was so obvious that I can't believe that I hadn't thought of it before. So we got up slowly and began to walk. It was not easy going. We had to push our way through the thick growth of cattails to advance. I could not help but wonder, should we have just stayed at home to face this in comforting surroundings? If it was going to happen, if we were going to die, and it seemed to be the case, we should have just stayed at home. In front of us, the ditch widened, and there were very few places that we could hide, and we got low, close to the ground, to the ground where we might blend in. And in fact, we crawled across the dried mud in snake-like fashion between stands of cattails and pampas grass. Panic suddenly took hold of us as 3 orbs paused slowly overhead, stopped right over us, and then just hovered. A moment later, they moved on. They just left us there. There came the piercing scream of a woman, and the green glow of the orb turned blood red. That always happened after a kill. And when we reached the other side of the road, through the drainage pipe, we saw a farmhouse. In the distance, it was a dark hulk against the night sky, and it looked abandoned. If we could make it there, I thought, but there was not much protective cover. The sky all around was filled with the green orbs. They were searching for more survivors to murder and do what with. It seemed to be the farmhouse or nothing. Dawn was still several hours off, but if we waited, we would for sure be caught. So I took Amanda and Danny by the hand and nodded towards the farmhouse. And Danny nodded, showing he understood. We had to make a swift and silent dash. And we were just about to make our move when the most unexpected thing happened. A black and white cat seemed to come from nowhere and sat right in what would have been the path that we would have taken. Mandy asked, "Where did the kitty come from, Dad?" And Danny added, "And look at that fog all around him." The cat appeared to put itself in harm's way for us, to give us more time to make it to the house. So the 3 of us watched with fear for the cat as the green orb came close down and began shrinking as it got near to the cat. As it got closer, the orb was encircled with green and red bands of energy. I'd never seen anything like that happen before, and the orb hovered there for a moment near the cat, who sat there quiet and calm. And then the orb shot up into the sky and exploded quite spectacularly. Had this little cat attained the power to defeat our enemy? Taking advantage of the extra time the cat had bought us, we ran as fast as we could to the porch of the house and burst in through the weathered old door. Danny exclaimed, "Look, Dad!" And sitting in the entryway floor was the black and white cat that we had just seen, and once again it seemed to appear out of nowhere. The sleek beauty walked over to Amanda and had jumped into her arms. And then everything began to change. More and more cats appeared outside, and more the orbs descended towards them, and they had those bright bands around them, and then they would go up in the sky and explode. It was as if the cats had found a way to defeat them and were coming to our rescue. And in fact, that is indeed what happened. Within a week, the orbs were gone, destroyed. Within a week. And life began to return to what normalcy could be had. But in our towns and cities where there were feral cats everywhere before the coming, there were now cats roaming and being cared for by all the people who knew that they were saved from certain death by these little creatures of God.